Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is NDISCO'S Village Meeting Podcast. How you all doing today? I am happy to be here with you as your host or hostess. Dr. Maslina and M.OPARAOJI is my name. Today, we are continuing our journey with the African culture and society. Today, we are into episode 5 in our series 2. In our culture, we have diverse aspects to it. And this time around, we are focusing on the food, what we consume culturally back in Africa and wherever Africans are in diaspora and at homestead. Today, we're going to talk about one of those quiet, powerful shrubs that some of us ignore, and it's called bitter leaf. The bitter leaf has a botanical name or biological name, Vernonia Amygdalina. For some of you who are biology majors, you can do better than I do in pronouncing this. But we know it by bitter leaf. It's known actually all over the world, but its origin is African. And to share with you how diversely this shrub is consumed, people in DR Congo has a name for it. They call it Congo bololo. The Yorubas have a name for it. The Hausa do. The Igbos, my tribe, we call it Onubu, or some people call Olubu. Okay. And I am going to challenge you to whatever area or region you come from in Africa to find out what this shrub is called in your area. I don't want to butcher anything. I don't want to spoil any names. So you go find out, and that's a good thing to know. But I will tell you that in Nigeria, my own country, we have it as a delicacy in the ethnicity I come from, the Igbo land. So we always will hear of Ofo Nubu or Ofo Lubi. And like I said, many people cherish that, whatever dish that bitter leaf is made with. It's a shrub that is found, like I said before, in tropical Africa, and serves in various capacities as food, medicine, and actually, believe it or not, animal feed. It's a member of the daisy family, for those of you who know more about plants and flowers. So this beautiful leaf or vegetable is a member of the daisy family. It's called bitter leaf because of its bitter taste. And believe it or not, and when we delve into that, we may not cover everything because of time, but you can believe that this little vegetable that we are going to talk about has more than 22 health benefits. 22 health benefits. So that's why some people call it the health wonder, and the liquid part of it, some people call it the miracle drink. So let's delve in and find out more. So, like I shared in the past, when we started this new series, I promised you we will have visual, and we'll have auditory part. And so I am talking also showing you the slides, which also will lead us to seeing some pictures of what I'm talking about. Again, as somebody who benefits from using all my senses, I thought that would be a good way to approach some of the topics I want to share with you all. So what is bitter leaf and why is it being consumed by many? Why is it that important? It's a natural remedy, like we say, a staple vegetable for soups for many. And believe it, some people also use it for stews. People have different connotation of stews. So what do you call stew in your area? So in many cultures in Africa, these are all bitter leaf derivatives or used in those dishes. It's like I said before, it's bitter. That's why it's called bitter leaf. So some wash it very thoroughly to remove or reduce the bitterness. And some people like it as bitter as they come. So, but the good thing is that it can be eaten fresh or dried. Um, and whichever way it comes, it's consumed. So why do we love it so much? Many have said it's good for bones and the teeth. It increases our metabolism. So all types of vitamins you're talking about, B1C, traces of K, are all found in this, shrub. Minerals of all types. You talk about the lipids, the proteins, the carbohydrates, amino acids, free radicals. So it's loaded with all that we will need for our bodies to nourish. Some people have said it lowers blood pressure and maintains blood sugar as well. The aspect that we really like is the way it helps us protect our immunity by being rich in phytochemicals with anti-diabetic aid. So you see why many clamor to eat olubo soup. It contributes to all our gastric effects that protect us against, the men especially, against prostate cancer. Um, Most of these are being studied now, believe it or not. When we started, our ancestors or those who came before us started consuming these shrubs or these vegetables, they may never have known how much, or maybe they knew, but they couldn't put it in a scientific situation or have scientific backings to them. But today we are going deeper to find out how else or what else is in these things we consume. And we thank them for actually bringing this to the world to consume. It's historically used in traditional medicine for actually bacterial infection like typhoid fever. So you can imagine, um, like I said before, it has 22 health benefits. I'm only mentioning a few here. So I challenge you, especially the young ones, to go back and find out what else does this do. Those of you in sciences, especially those of you that love to go into pharmacology or pharmacological sciences. This is where you can shine. Um, Clinical research or trials are going on in all kinds of things. And believe it, some of them are not just from the test tube. Some of these original materials that transform into tablets or injections can be found, in our forests and bushes, like our forefathers used to use them um, without, the scientific research to them. So, what are the other byproducts of bitter leaf? So we talked about when we use the vegetable to cook, and we have seen what else is coming from it. But there are things that are being done now, extracted from the bitter leaf to give it more variety of use. In some regions of Africa, it used to brew some kind of beer. Can you imagine that? For me, I see people who drink Guinness beer. I don't drink that, but as bitter as they say it is, I would imagine some kind of bitter leaf extract will be in that. I don't know yet. I haven't researched into that, but it could be the case. You never know. But it's been said here that some parts of Africa use that to brew beer. In other regions, the twigs and the sticks are used as chewing stick. So you can see where that comes in handy for oral and dental hygiene. In some parts of Uganda, for example, the stems are used for soap making. Go figure. Okay. So every part of this shrub is being used effectively to help us, be as healthy as we can. In some regions of Ghana, the young leaves are used for anti-inflammatory use in animals. Can you believe that? So we now know that anything that is good for the human is also good for animals. In some parts of Nigeria, bitter leaf is added to animal feed to help expel worms. So this is also something that could be borrowed or really tried in some other areas that are not doing that for now, to try to use that and add them to animal feeds and see what happens. It contains flavonoids, which have powerful antioxidant effects that can help treat high fevers. Now, we're talking about anti-inflammatory. Some drink the bitter leaf liquid or the solution. So when you crush the leaves, especially the fresh ones, and squeeze either by hand or using any other utensils or tools, the liquid oozes out, which is what is being talked about here. So that liquid, some people at night before bedtime, they drink this, and they have vouched to it bringing calmness and relaxation, relieving insomnia. That's the lack of sleep. And now, you know, what could be better than popping a pill? So these are the things that we encourage people to, I think the healthcare aspect encourage, because most of these are preventive or preventative, like some will say. It helps stop whatever disease is coming on before it comes on. It helps strengthen our immunity. It has been identified as beneficial to couples trying to conceive. Look at that, especially having positive effect on sperm quality. Again, not everything is cured by the regular pills out there, medicines and all that. Sometimes people have, encouraged others to go holistic, go through the food items we have and see if that could help us restore um, uh, things that we are going through. So in this next slide, I'm showing you, in case some of you have never seen such a thing, um, this is a good way to identify them when you see them. And when I say that, I'm talking to the young ones, my young adults that, are interested in um, learning about this through my podcast. I show these pictures so you see them, so you can identify them when you go to the market or the stores. So I label them A to Z. So the A picture is the shrub is, the tree, the little tree that brings the bitter leaf. So you see this at people's backyards or in the farms, and people are doing a good job of planting these around the house so that they just go and pluck and they, boom, have vegetables. And this one being a super powerful one. B is, the letter B is one that is a little bit dry, is on the verge of drying, but these have been plucked off the little trees. C is a packaged one. These are dried one packaged. So if you go to African stores or to the markets in Africa, you will see dried ones like that. But they may not be packaged, but they will look like D, just spread on the mats or anywhere for you to just buy. People are encouraged to just wash them again before you use them to get off scents and all that. E, the letter E, the one there, example of the twigs or the sticks, and you see them on A. Look at the sticks that where the leaves are up on top. The E here is the one that was described that could be used as chewing sticks, or used also to make soaps. And you look at F. F is a packaged tea. It's a packaged tea leaf. So people are now also, remember when we say some people use it to cure insomnia, when they can't sleep, it calms them. Some of them now, instead of just putting them in soups, will put them in a cup and put hot water in there and just drink. they extract. And that also has been recorded as being beneficial to our systems. Now, the G, letter G, you see two bottles there. Now people are going, a step further to actually make this available to those who may not find themselves close to anywhere to plant these trees or get fresh of them or even buy packaged dry ones. So if you are in situation or environments where you can lay hands on any of those, they are now making bitter leaf capsules that people can consume. Isn't that awesome? So we are really going places. Now, some have wondered if there are any side effects to the consumption of bitter leaf. And this is where I say to people, and I have my disclaimer, I'm not a physician, I am not a nutritionist, neither am I a herbalist or a traditional medicine man. But I eat bitter leaf, I have consumed bitter leaf, and I love bitter leaf. But one thing I have found out is that it has so much to it that meets the eye. It has so much to give to us for our system that we can ever know. So, but in everything, there should be a moderation. When we consume things to extreme, there are consequences to that. So my disclaimer is that you need to consult a physician, okay, a nutritionist or a herbal expert before consuming this shrub. If you have never eaten it before, please, and if you're not familiar with it or know the quantity to consume, please talk to one of these people to know how much you can, because uh, a lot of it or too much of it can affect the heart's frequency and amplitude, the beatings of your heart or the beating of your heart. If you take a whole lot or consume a whole lot of that, is the case we're talking about here, especially when you have that at higher concentration levels. Say you have a lot of bitter leaf, and you have concentrated form of the extract, the liquid that you are consuming, that might be causing more harm than good. So just moderation is the key. Again, consumption of a whole lot. You remember our system, the organs we have work round the clock to make sure the good stays in and the bad is extracted. So when we overload with anything, including such things that will harm their function, it will really report. So again, the abuse of bitter leaf and the extracts can cause apoptosis or necrosis of the kidney, atrophies of some part of your cells. So, and thereby causing cell death. So we need to be cautious when we consume stuff. It can also elevate the serum hepatocellular enzymes. Again, this is where we're talking about our liver, because as the one of the organs, actually main organ that processes all these things that we consume. So we got to look out for that aspect. Some other researchers have challenged the validity of such side effects that I mentioned, all the three of them. Generally, most schools of thought agree that bitter leaf is safe and beneficial to overall health. But again, caution. Remember, most of these are still not scientific based. They have not been experimented on in the labs or maybe on animals in a scientific fashion. There may have been observations here and there, but for those of us who also believe in empirical research, we also agree that unless this has been proven with so many people being put through the testing for the outcome or the dosage of or the quantity of whatever people can take, we just have to rely on um, just moderation. Now, before I conclude, I want to invite my young ones. These are aspects that you can delve into. Innovation is not something that, yeah, sometimes it's something you start from the scratch, but sometimes it's stepping on what others have worked on and go the next step, refine them. So somebody now is looking at this bitter leaf and saying, there are more to it, or there is more to it than we are seeing. And they are digging deep into that. Tomorrow, you don't know what you could find while experimenting on this or doing a research on that, and it's curing something else. So we now also know that sometimes most of these, when we do research, we find out that one thing we thought is centered on curing one thing is also able to cure more diseases out there. So at this point, I thank you for listening, and let's continue to enjoy this wonderful miracle uh, shrub, a vegetable, and its extract or derivatives. And hopefully that will help us in preventive care instead of um, waiting and leaving our bodies um, really unprotected for the diseases to attack. I thank you again. And the spirit of Ubuntu always calls on us, reminding us, I am because we are. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to also, follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and what is the other one? Instagram. Okay. Thank you. I wish you well. This is your hostess, Maslina.